We'll show what that storm looks like here in Lubbock. Again, this is a severe warned storm. It's had a history producing golf ball sized hail. And in fact, it looks like that hail core beginning to peak a little bit on that now as it continues to track to the north and east. There's another cell moving into southern portions of Lubbock County. We'll pop up WSI system number 1, and you can see that. And as we loop over the last hour, that cell taking a hard right now in Hockley County. That's going to hit, if it keeps on its current trajectory, it's going to hit the city of Lubbock within the next hour or so. By 8:30, we'll probably see some impacts there. And Chris, your radar looks a little better of it than mine. And I'm going to update it real quick to show.
Yeah, the Hockley County thing, that just caught my eye too, right there.
Yeah, we're keeping our eye on this one, and here's why. Going back to WSI system number 1 real quick, if you all don't mind. That's what we're tracking, and this little hook feature right here. Chris, I'm going to ask you if you can pull up your velocity, your wind tracking product on yours, but this little feature,
it's a little
right
messy
in this region.
Well, let's try.
Okay, what you're seeing on my screen, that's what we're looking at. That's what we call a hook echo on radar. Over on WSI system number 2, meteorologist Chris Whited has that pulled up. You can see that reflectivity transition to velocity, which is just a fancy term for our wind directions, okay? The Lubbock radar is back over in this region. The red, the wind's going away from that. The green, the wind's coming toward. And as we take a look at the top of the
we do have
camera,
1.5 inch hail falling with that storm just to the southwest of Smyer.
So right in this area, that's where we're seeing a lot of that. Now, Chris in the booth, director Chris, not meteorologist Chris, if we could take the top of the tower camera, that would be great. Looking back at the storm, where those red and greens were hitting is right in this area. That's where we're seeing the lowering on this storm. This is that wall cloud associated with this low precipitation supercell. We are still seeing that hail. You said 1.5 inches, Chris?
Yes. Yeah, 1.5.
Okay, 1.5 inch hail. That's ping pong ball size falling here. Might be seeing a couple of funnels there, but again, those would just be considered cold air funnels from all the hail and some of that heavy rain falling out of the storm.
Just quick heads up for people here in Lubbock, the metro area. We've got another storm trying to pop up right now just north of New Home, and if that pulses up, that could be an issue here on the south side of town coming up probably in the next 20 minutes. Yeah,
we're definitely going to be tracking that one as well, Chris. So back on WSI system number 1, our main focus is that storm just to the west of Lubbock, there east of Levelland. 1 ping pong ball size hail confirmed just southwest of Smyer. That's going to track due east here on 114 as it moves into northwestern portions of the Lubbock metro. So if you live just southeast of the metro area, back up to Shallow Water and Anton, you need to be paying close attention to the storm. North of New Home, though, there's that storm to our south. That's likely going to send a surge of some gusty winds into southern portions of the metro, some heavy rainfall as well. That storm near the airport looks like it's falling apart northwest of Lorenzo, but it did produce some hail there at the airport at Preston Smith International Airport. Another cell trying to develop here in northern portions of Dawson County, Chris. We'll keep our eye on that. That one could head directly up towards Tahoe.
We now got 2-inch hail being reported southwest 5 miles southwest of Smyer on our...
So this storm right here is where Chris is talking about. Smyer, right in this general vicinity. Chris, I'm going to step off.
I've got it up on max.
Okay, let's go to max number 2 real quick, and we'll take a look at that hail. Southwest of Smyer, you said?
Yes. Yeah, 5 miles southwest of Smyer.
That big purple blob there, and there's another one here, and when you see stuff like that, definitely supports some of that very large hail. What's happening with the storm right now, okay? We're starting to see those hail sizes go up from 1 inch to 1.5, now 2-inch hail being reported southwest of Smyer. It means the winds going into that storm, the updraft is getting a lot stronger. It's able to sustain those larger hailstones, and that in turn can often result in a rapid intensification of the storm. The extreme eastern fringes of that storm are entering western portions of Lubbock County, so Lubbock, the city, whole metro area, needs to pay close attention to the storm, especially from Carlisle up to Shallow Water.
Sorry to interrupt you there. The latest update on this warning just came out. They're warning for 1.75, but we just got that spotter report for 2 inch.
So at least 2-inch size hail. Our producers in my ear, Kate, do you have any more information on any of the storms across our region? Okay, great. Yeah, this is what it looks like towards Smyer, if I'm correct. This is our storm chaser, Kyle Allen. He is out there chasing the storm this evening. Bear with us. We all know how well the cell service is here in West Texas, so dealing with some choppy video because of that. But yeah, tracking the storm near Smyer. It's warned for golf ball size hail, which is 1.75 inches. in diameter. But in fact, we've had ground truth reports now that the hail is larger than that. Likely seeing some of that fall on the back edge of this, and a little bit of a lowering there possibly with what we are calling that rotating wall cloud. Chris, do you have some more info for us?
Yeah, the tornado warning for eastern King County, and I'm talking about out past Guthrie, past the 4-6's ranch. That's been canceled, but it continues over into Knox County. I had to think of my counties there.
Okay, so that's exiting our area now. Terry, what do you have?
Hail is up to 2.5 inches, 5 miles southwest of Smyre. Broken windshield. That's big stuff.
Yeah, Chris in the booth, our director, if we're able to, the next commercial break, whether it's local or national, we need to cut in and give the folks here in Lubbock a heads up of what could be headed their way. So let's go back on over to our WSI system number 1 radar right now. And as soon as you find out when we can cut into a commercial break, just let me know so we can update Lubbock residents of that hail moving into our region. But again, tracking that storm to the west of Lubbock again, and we're putting a little bit of our time in on this storm as it is headed towards the east, possibly bringing some of that hail into our region. So we're about 4 minutes out from being able to cut in here to programming on KLBK News. But Terry, you did say 2.5-inch hail, correct?
Yes, sir. 2.5-inch hail, 5 miles southwest of Smyre, and now we have a spotter that is 5 miles south of Levelland, and they've spotted a funnel.
Okay, so we are going to track this storm very closely. We're not going to cut into programming unless a tornado warning is issued for this storm. But we will cut into our commercial breaks because a severe thunderstorm is now producing a funnel southeast of Levelland that is heading east along 214 towards the city of Lubbock. We are also seeing that confirmed hail, 2.5 inches in diameter, which is about the size of a tennis ball up to the size of a baseball. That is moving towards the city of Lubbock. We are tracking the storm north of New Home, headed towards the hub city as well. That will have the possibility to produce some pea-sized hail and at least 50-mile-per-hour winds in the metro. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. As these two storms move in, they could interact. Don't know how that would influence us now, but notice all the way up to the Lubbock and Lynn County border, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning, including Wilson. That storm is continuing to track to the north and west, and it even looks like this storm moving into southern Lubbock County now is beginning to get a little bit of a hook on that as well. We are going to track both of these storms very closely as they move into the Lubbock metro area. We are about 3 minutes out now from cutting into a commercial break on KLBK Channel 13. We will inform everyone that we are continuing our coverage on Facebook. The only reason we are going to cut into programming on Channel 13 tonight will be if a tornado warning is issued for one of our counties in our area, or if a strong, severe thunderstorm is moving through Lubbock producing damaging hail, which is now occurring to the west, moving into Lubbock County now, that storm beginning to exit the warning polygon. So it's going to be interesting to see what the National Weather Service here decides to do. But what I'm saying now is for our folks in the back, if a tornado warning is issued on this storm because a funnel cloud has been reported for the city of Lubbock, we will cut into programming. Once that severe thunderstorm warning comes in, what we'll do is we'll update it throughout our breaks, our commercial breaks. And yeah, so we're going to take a brief break. I'm going to get quiet and we're going to swap out mics because I'm having some technical difficulties with mine. So it's going to get quiet for a quick second. Meteorologist Chris Whited, if you have any information that you can contribute right now, feel free to go ahead and do so.
Yeah, Chris, our director, if you'll pop up Max 2 real quick. We've got a new severe thunderstorm warning down in Borden County. It's for the storm that's down near Big Spring. They do have a tornado possible tag on this storm. So this is going to be moving due north. So if you're watching us down around the Gale area there, that storm will be moving up in that direction here as we get ready to probably go through the next hour. That warning is in effect until 8:30. That's a severe thunderstorm warning, but it does have a tornado possible tag on it. And by the way, speaking of that, well down south of Big Spring, we still have reports of a large tornado on the ground in southern Howard and northern Sterling County going back down towards San Angelo.
Right, and what highway is that relatively close to?
That is US 87.
Okay, would you tell Director Chris to mute my mic for just a second, please?
O'Brien is in Haskell County. That's over in the big country.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Nothing.
We were talking. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, I am ready for a mic check.
Terry is asking me a geography question. Yeah.
15 seconds out from joining in the KLBK programming, I will provide
Likely
an
merge
update
with
then.
storm west of city of Lubbock.
Okay, mic check me, 1, 2. Let's go back to WSI system number 1, please, and have the top of the tower camera on standby for when we cut in. We are 10 seconds out, so bear with us on Facebook Live as we kind of transition things over. Well, good evening, everyone. Chief Meteorologist Jacob Riley. We're not cutting into your programming this evening. We're taking up a commercial break to inform you of storms that are moving into the Lubbock metro area. We're keeping a close eye on the storm east of Levelland, tracking due east along Highway 114, headed towards the city of Lubbock. It has had a confirmed funnel cloud with the storm. There is now tennis ball sized hail with that, so 2.5 inches up to 3 inches in diameter, headed towards the city of Lubbock. And again, we have a confirmed funnel cloud with this storm. Again, we're not cutting into programming right now. We're taking up a commercial break. We are streaming live on our Facebook page, KLBK News. If you want to continue the coverage with us, head on over there and follow us along. But we're tracking this storm that's moving out of New Home into southwestern portions of Lubbock County. That storm is expected to merge with this storm here in western Lubbock County. So the city of Lubbock, a couple of things could happen for us, okay? We're expecting some heavy rainfall, some hail. We've had those confirmed reports up to 2.5, almost 3 inches in diameter now. So get ready. If you're out on the roads, know someone out on town. It's now 7:33 p.m. on your Monday evening. Give them a call, shoot them a text, let them know what's headed their way, because I promise you, you do not want to get caught outside in this. That heavy rainfall is expected in the metro, so we could see some of that localized flash flooding in addition to that large hail. But again, I want to repeat myself here. We have had a funnel cloud confirmed with this storm in eastern portions of Honkley County. That storm should be warned again here sometime soon by the National Weather Service as it moves into western Lubbock County. So we've got a live look at that now. Let's go ahead, pull that into our system, show you what's going on. This is that storm we're tracking, our wall cloud right here. If we're going to see a tornado with this storm, it will likely be on this side. As you can see right now, it's good news. We don't have the cloud touching the ground at any location there on the base of that storm, so we don't currently have a tornado in process. But again, this tornado is beginning to rotate. So I'm going to ask meteorologist Chris Whitehead on WSI System 2, bring up our wind tracker. We're going to see what the winds look like with the storm. For now, though, let's go back to WSI System number 1 because we're tracking these storms moving through. Earlier has some small
I've got
hail.
It up on 2 if you
Okay,
want.
let's pull up System 2 now. You can see where kind of that rotation is. Yep. There's Smyer to the southwest, northwest of Ropesville, areas in green. The wind going towards the radar in those regions, areas in the red, the wind going away. If nothing else, we have some strong wind and large hail confirmed with this storm, upwards of tennis to baseball size. We're about 30 seconds out. We're going to toss you back into our regularly scheduled programming. Lubbock is about to be under a severe thunderstorm warning. We're tossing you back to programming. Join us on Facebook Live right now on KLBK News. We'll track that severe storm as it moves into Lubbock County, but 2-inch hail could be headed to the metro area, so do what you need to prepare right now. Back on Facebook Live this evening, breaking weather news now. The severe thunderstorm warning is about to be issued for the city of Lubbock. Real quick, let's take a look at the camera we have at our KLBK studios. I presume it's facing back to the west. Actually, I assume it's facing back to the west. There's that storm. It does have a history of producing tennis to baseball sized hail. Also, a couple of funnel clouds have been reported with this storm. That is headed towards the city of Lubbock. You can see the areas where it's a little more of that gray shade is where most of that precipitation is falling. But back to the north where the sun is, that's where we're dry. So all of this is rain, possibly some hail, but the likelihood of greatest hail potential is going to be in this region right here. Director Chris, whenever we can cut into our next commercial break, let's try to do that again since this storm is moving into the Lubbock metro area. So we'll just stay up to date on that. Let's look at the storm on the south of Lubbock because that one we have to pay very close attention to. This is it as it's moving in. Notice a little bit of a turbulent looking sky here on the bottom left corner of your screen. What that is, it doesn't look like a tornado, but likely some strong winds coming out of the storm hitting the ground, and as that's doing so, it's kicking up some dirt and some rain.
There's our warning, 70-mile-per-hour winds,
okay, that's a system 1,
2.5-inch diameter hail.
So all of the Lubbock metro area, we are currently under a severe thunderstorm warning. If someone could let me know if Russ is still here, I would appreciate that. But again, we have a pretty high impact storm headed towards the city of Lubbock this evening, and another one near Woodrow headed towards the north.
Hey, folks in Lubbock, get your car into a place of safety now.
Yes. Do not park under any bridges or overpasses. That is irresponsible and dangerous for both you and all other drivers on the road, including our first responders. But we are tracking this storm. We're going to stick here on Facebook Live with you through the thick of it as it moves into Lubbock. But again, Director Chris, if we can, that next commercial break, we need to get back on air and warn the residents of Lubbock about 6 minutes out what is headed our way. So if we're able to cut into programming again, the reason we would do that is if a tornado warning was issued. We've had reports of a funnel cloud reported with this storm as it's continuing to push to the east, but 2.5-inch hail is what this storm is warned for, and 70-mile-per-hour winds. If your car is outside, get it covered now. Get off the roads. You do not need to park under those bridges and overpasses, as that will create nothing but a traffic nightmare. Let's take a look back at our WSI System 1, but let's pop the camera up here from KLBK Studios looking back to the west. So let's go back to that camera to the west. The National Weather Service in Lubbock now issuing an aerial flood advisory for more flooding in the city of Lubbock as that storm moves in. Here it is right now, and this is what we're seeing. Some of it's good, some of it's not so good, okay? Look at the base of this cloud. You can see there's not a direct connection from the cloud to the ground, so we're not seeing a tornado associated with this storm. But those streaks there on your screen where it's a lot darker gray, that is likely where we're seeing some of that 2.5-inch hail, heavy rain, and some 70-mile-per-hour winds are also expected with this storm. Down to our south, near New Home, we had a storm. Let's take our other camera, pull that one up looking to the south of Lubbock as it is showing another cell moving into the Lubbock metro area. I guarantee you the reason that we have that aerial flood advisory that has been issued for our city is because these storms are going to meet and drop a lot of rainfall. What we're seeing on the horizon now, you can see a few areas and maybe some swirls and stuff like that. Not a tornado, but what it is some of that strong wind coming out of the storm, hitting the ground and kicking that dust up ahead of that line of storms. But back on WSI System number 1, we're going to kind of zoom out real quick, show you what's going on across the rest of the region. Watching these storms in Tahoka, a lot of that activity blowing up there. Tahoka, it's a couple of severe storms headed your way. That storm moving east out of Hockley County, tracking storms north of Littlefield for some heavy rain, hail, and high winds. Also some more of those storms exiting our region to the north and east. Keeping an eye on our neighbors down in Borden County as a new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for them. But again, our main focus right now focused on this storm in eastern Hockley County because it's headed towards a population center of about 300,000 people. Over 250,000 people live within Lubbock County. This is going to be a highly impactful storm. And right now, we are seeing that cell come up out of the south as well. What I'm going to do real quick, toss it over to Chris Whited and Terri Furman. Let them kind of talk about what they're seeing as I kind of do some things real quick.
Tornado warning coming for Lubbock.
Okay,
we
are on
tornado warning coming for
right
Lubbock.
Now, Chris, cut into programming, and we will get this thing started.
Yes, get on air.
So a tornado warning coming for Lubbock, guys. What time till do you know
it
that?
Doesn't say
they haven't issued it just yet.
So we need to get on again as quickly as possible. I know you guys are doing the means that are necessary to do that, but the second we can get on the air, we need to get on the air because a tornado warning is coming for the city of Lubbock.
And Lubbock
Start
County.
heading towards your tornado safe place. Lubbock County included in that. So anywhere in Lubbock County, if you're watching us on your phone, turn it up, get to your safe place. But we are working on getting on the air right now to bring the updates. Chris, we can't wait to that break. We've got to get into programming right now. We have a tornado warning in effect for the city of Lubbock. So do what we need to get us on air at this moment because this is a particularly dangerous situation as the storm moves in.
And we just, if you're here in Lubbock, you just got the tornado warning on your wireless emergency alerts.
Well, good evening, everyone. Chief Meteorologist Jacob Riley. We're cutting into your programming because a tornado warning has been issued for the city of Lubbock. As of right now, we're working to gain those details of this storm as it is tracking out of Hockley County along Highway 14, headed towards the city of Lubbock. We're talking about this storm to the east of Levelland. You can see some of those maroons and reds popping up on radar. If you live anywhere in Lubbock County, you need to be headed to your tornado safe place right now. Real quick, let's pop up our camera on the top of our tower here at KLBK Studios because we have a great vantage point on this storm as it moves in. We're able to see the storm to the west. Right now, we've had multiple reports of some funnels out of this storm this evening, but right now, as we look at the base of the storm, we are not seeing anything make connection with the ground. That's the good news. The National Weather Service is playing it safe here as this storm has had a history, again, of producing some funnels across western portions of the Lubbock County area and eastern portions of Hockley County. This is tracking into the city of Lubbock. Let's go back to WSI system number 1. The tornado risk isn't the only risk that we have to deal with this storm. Near Smyre, about 5 miles south of Smyre, we had confirmed hail sizes of tennis to baseball size. We're tracking that storm moving east. An aerial flood advisory has been issued for the expectation of very heavy rainfall in Lubbock County over the next hour or so. Down to our south, we're tracking this storm moving up from New Home into the Lubbock metro area. Once these two merge, it will drop a lot of rainfall on the city of Lubbock. Meteorologist Chris Whitehead and Terri Furman are in with me tonight in the KLBK First Warning Weather Center. And what we're going to do is ask meteorologist Chris Whitehead to try to get those wind products up on his system. When he has that ready, he's going to let us know, and we're going to show you where that area of rotation is.
I'm trying to get this tornado warning out on social media real quick.
So we're working on updating everyone on social media. Chris is going to get that taken care of as soon as he can. And Terri, if you don't mind, read over some of that warning text if it has been made available yet for the city of Lubbock in regard to this tornado warning.
Radar indicated hail about 2.5 inches for Hockley and Lubbock until 8:30 tonight. At 7:40, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles west of Wolforth or 13 miles east of Levelland, moving east at 30 miles an hour.
Okay, so this warning remains in effect until 8:30 p.m. this evening. We will be on the air for at least the next 45 minutes as this tornado warning continues for the city of Lubbock. Again, I apologize. I know we are cutting into your programming here on this Monday night, but this storm is more important than any show on TV right now. You can download the CBS app and stream your shows there if you would rather, but we have got to track this potentially life-threatening situation for the city of Lubbock. Chris?
I've got velocity up on
let's take WSI system number 2, and we'll take a look at the winds that we're experiencing with this storm. You said west of Wolforth, east of Levelland, and right in this region right here is where we have the highest likelihood of seeing a tornado develop. In fact, there is one associated with this storm. Again, a tornado warning remains in effect until 8:30 p.m. for the city of Lubbock. Chris, do you have some
If you're in the city of Lubbock, your phone should be going off with the wireless emergency alert. In fact, mine's went off 3 times since the warning's been issued. So, yeah, the warning's getting out there.
So we're tracking that, Chris, on WSI System 1. Pop up that tornado safety graphic of the home that shows people where they can seek shelter safely. But as of right now, this area of green, that's moving towards the city of Lubbock. These areas in red pushing away from the city of Lubbock. In that region, south of Smyre, is where we have that rotation. That is tracking to the east and northeast, headed close to Wolforth. So from Carlisle down to Wolforth, you need to be headed to your tornado safe place right now. And Chris, let's go back to WSI 1. That safe place is going to be somewhere in the middle of your house. You want to put as many walls between you and the outside of your home as physically possible. If you have a basement, that is the absolute best place you can be during a tornado warning. Underground is the safest bet for you. But again, you don't want to be in a room with any windows or access walls to the outside, because the storm that we're tracking on WSI system number 2 is warned for a tornado. Let's go back to WSI 2. Right now, you can see that hook echo beginning to pop up here with this storm as it moves into Lubbock County. All of the city of Lubbock under that tornado warning. If you are hearing me right now on your screen, get to your safe place. Chris, what's some of the latest info you're getting in?
Yeah, I may need you to take one because I've got 4 new warnings I need to get on social media. So
I can
go straight ahead. We're taking care of that on social media. I've got you back on WSI system number 1. Let's get over there. Terri Furman is going to be controlling the radar for us. But Lubbock right now, you're in for a lot of heavy rainfall. We'll keep it zoomed in right here for right now, Terri. We're tracking the storm near Woodrow, tracking up to the north on Highway 87, about to move into southern Lubbock. If we get a little blotchy here in your signal, it's because we're seeing some of that heavy rain move in. But again, tracking the storm back to the west of Wolforth. If we're able to, let's go ahead and get that top of the tower camera looking back to the west of the city of Lubbock as this storm continues to move on in. We'll pop that up and take a look at this storm as it's moving in. Also, we have a couple of storm chasers out there. Kyle Allen and Derek Jenner are out this evening. I know Kyle has been tracking this storm in Levelland all evening long, so if we are able to access his feed a little sooner than the camera on top of the tower, we will do that. But the second we can get our eyes on this storm on the ground, I want us to do that. Again, south of Smyer, 2.5-inch hail has been reported, and the area of greatest interest for a rotation now is going to be just to the west of Wolfforth. So right in this area, tracking on off towards the east. I'm going to step off screen, adjust something real quick for you, but again, you're watching that tornado warning on your screen for the city of Lubbock. That runs until 8:30 p.m. Central Time this evening. Now, we have had a couple of confirmed funnel clouds with this storm as it moves into the city of Lubbock, and again, it's getting very close to our radar site. That's why it looks a little funny there, a little blotchy from shallow water down near Wolfforth. If we do have this tornado on the ground, it's going to be in this general vicinity, moving on off to the east. So city of Lubbock could potentially move right through the heart again if that tornado is confirmed on the ground. As of right now, the last time we looked at this, it was not on the ground, but again, we have had multiple reports of funnels with this storm as it continues to track on off towards the east. So if you live from Wolfforth to shallow water, Smyer, you need to be headed to your tornado safe place. And again, that's going to be somewhere located in the middle of your home, away from the outside walls or windows. We are getting now some new reports in of a funnel cloud west of the Milwaukee Avenue area. So again, getting closer to the city of Lubbock. We're going to be tracking that very closely for you here. What you're looking at your screen right now is a current radar scan. This is West Loop 289 in the city of Lubbock. There is Wolfforth. We're tracking this storm to our south now. If we're able to show that on one of our Skyview cameras, let's get that one up too. We're still under a tornado warning for the city of Lubbock until 8:30 p.m. Central Time this evening. But if there is a tornado on the ground, it's going to be either in this area right here or this area here. Now, it looks like just south of Smyer, that storm is beginning to cycle, possibly intensifying that. Let's go ahead. We've got a live view to show you right now. I believe that this is off of Milwaukee Avenue, 50th and Elgin, 50th and Utica, looking back to the south and west. You can see that storm there. Again, if we're going to have any type of rotation, it's going to be right in this region here. What you're seeing at the ground, though, we're going to look at this really closely, okay? You can see a lot of clear sky, or relatively clear sky, some of that light shining through, indicating that there's not, at least from this frame, a current tornado on the ground. But 50th Street running from east west that way, east this way, near Utica. You can see the Whataburger there, one of the churches just to the north of that. This storm is headed into the city of Lubbock. Confirmed tornado warning in effect until 8:30 p.m. Terri Furman has some more details for us. Terri, what do you have?
Quarter-size hail being reported at 108th and Indiana Avenue right now.
Okay, so we are starting to see that move into Lubbock. That's not far from the station now. I believe this is our storm chaser Kyle Allen on this storm. You can see a lot of that storm, some of that hail really picking up there now. This area back to our west, that's where we're seeing some of the stronger winds. If I could get a location on where Kyle is at, that would be much appreciated. But again, Indiana in 108th. That is where we've had quarter-sized hail confirmed moving into the city of Lubbock. It's in south central portions of Lubbock, continuing to head on off to the east. And now we're getting pea-sized hail outside right here at KLBK Studios. In case you don't know where we're at, we are located at South Loop 289 and University Avenue. So that hail is moving into the Lubbock metro area now. Let's get back to WSI system number 1. This view, though, at 1585 and 6282 looking towards Lubbock. We've got this storm right now. This is the one bringing that hail into the city of Lubbock, okay? The worst storm is still to our west. We haven't even seen the impacts from that move into the metro area yet, but another cell right now. This one currently isn't warned for anything, moving into Lubbock, bringing us some of that pea-sized and even quarter-sized hail already to portions of Indiana Avenue near 108th. But Kyle Allen is back in this region right in here looking into the storm. This storm continuing to track to the east towards the city of Lubbock. Meteorologist Chris Whitehead is doing a fantastic job keeping everyone updated on social media, but whenever he has the opportunity to pop up that wind tracker, we're going to ask him to.
I've got it up right now.
Let's go to WSI system number 2. Yeah. We are tracking the winds with this storm. Our WSI 2 is where we're able to see some of that rotation south of Smyer. So the second we get that popped up, you can see west of Wolfforth. It's a little splotchy here. We're getting close to the radar, so that typically kind of hinders the view, the transparency and clearness of this storm. But if we're going to have one, it's going to be southeast of Smyer, southwest of Hurlwood. And if we do have that sky view off of 50th Street still, we'd like to take that. But until we can get that up, Chris White has got some more details for us.
Yeah,
Chris?
Just for a second, I've got 4 new few severe thunderstorm warnings I need to let you know about. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Linn County until 8:45. That is for the storms that are affecting Tahoka right now.
Okay.
We also have severe thunderstorm warnings
WSI1,
for
please.
Castro and Bailey County. That's the newest warning. And this storm is capable of producing 2-inch hail.
Let's go to WSI system number 1 if we can, please.
As well.
And now
right,
that there's rotation is a bit broader on that supercell that is approaching Lubbock. A lot of dust is visible, so you probably
we'll keep it right here then, since that's moving in, but that's that supercell. New warnings covering 75% of Linn County now. But let's zoom back into that camera view that we had at 50th and Utica here in Lubbock. We'll get that shown for you to show that supercell as it continues to track in towards the city of Lubbock. Again, we apologize for cutting into your programming this evening, but we have a tornado warning in effect for the city of Lubbock. That lasts until 8:30 p.m. Central Time this evening. And as we zoom in here, we're able to see that storm tracking just south of Highway 114. So it looks like all of the hub city could see some of that hail up to 2.5 inches in diameter, which has been confirmed on this storm near Smyer. Is tracking into Lubbock, and that rotation with the storm is located on the south side of Highway 114. We have a couple of storm chasers out in the field. Kyle Allen has been tracking the storm all afternoon. We're going to work on getting his feed up for you and let you know what we are seeing from his vantage point. There it is right there. He's southwest of Lubbock along Highway 6282 near FM 1580, looking back towards the north and east. You can see that wall cloud there. That's more than likely Kyle getting out in it, but you can see a lot of that dust getting kicked up there near the ground with the storm as it moves into the region. Again, what we're probably seeing right here is a lot of that wind rushing up into the storm, going up, and on the back side of it, some of that wind is coming down and rotating around. So if we're going to see a tornado anywhere at all, it'll be right in here, seeing a lot of that dust get kicked up at the upward motion of the updraft there. We'll keep it on this view real quick because if something's going to happen, we're going to see it right here on this storm as it gets moving closer towards the city of Lubbock. But what we're looking at is this wall cloud associated with the storm to the south of Smyer, north of Wolforth, now headed into the Lubbock metro area. What you're able to see down here, some of these areas that are coming up a little bit like that, those could be some little vortexes that could be rotating around our updraft as it's going into the storm. So again, we don't have a confirmed tornado on the ground, but if we are going to see one develop out of the storm, it's going to be right in this section. A lot of what we're seeing here on the bottom of your screen, that is some of that baseball-sized hail falling out of this storm, in addition to some heavy rain and wind gusts near 70 miles per hour. So we're tracking this just to the south and west of the Lubbock metro area. As we go back on over to WSI system number 1 now, we'll show you what it looks like on our radar product. This is what, if you have the KLBK First Warning Weather app on your phone and you access our radar feature, this is what you'll see. But back to the west, again, before we go to that radar, let's keep it here. Let's look at this. This is the bottom part of that supercell. You can see some of that dust getting kicked up on the horizon now. Get to your safe place, Lubbock. If you are in your home, you're watching us on your television right now, crank that volume all the way up. Get into a room that's in the middle of your home, no access to the outside walls or windows, and stay there. Keep us turned up loud. We're tracking this tornado-warned storm as it moves into the city of Lubbock, but you need to be headed to your safe place right now. If you have a bicycle helmet, that's something good to put over your head just in case that tornado does develop. It will protect your head from any flying debris. Also, make sure you have your mobile phone with you in your safe place. But all of Lubbock County right now, especially the Lubbock metro area, needs to be in their tornado safe place. What we're looking at on our screen right now, South Loop 289 is where my hand is pointing, and back to the west, that's off near Wolforth in this general direction. This is the area we're watching right now. We do have some confirmed reports of some tornado sirens going off here in Lubbock County. So again, another great way to receive a warning of what's headed your way. Also, we're going to track this until that warning expires for Lubbock County or is moving out of our region. But again, we do have this tornado warning in effect until 8:30 p.m. Central Time this evening. We're seeing a lot of heavy rain, hail, wind getting kicked up out of this. It looks like potentially a wall cloud developing there. That's where it could spin and possibly produce a tornado. But again, we've had reports of up to baseball-sized hail in our area this evening, just south of Smyer. So we're going to track this system very closely for you as it continues to head into the city of Lubbock. Terry, do you have some new information for us?
Update now, radar indicated tornado. We're continuing, of course, the tornado warning for Lubbock County, but also for Hockley County until 8:30 tonight. Okay. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Wolforth, as you were talking about, or 11 miles west of Lubbock, moving now at 35 miles an hour.
Okay, so that storm continuing to track off to the east, I presume?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
hey,
that's
Jacob, I do have that back in on Max 2 into the Lubbock metro area.
Okay, let's go back to WSI system number 2. So we're seeing a storm move over the Lubbock metro area now. That's the one that produced some pea-sized hail here at KLBK Studios, but there's recenter, likely seeing some of that large hail now up to baseball size. Wolforth, just to the west of you, this little hook feature, that's what we're keeping our attention focused on, because that, if a tornado is going to be produced, will move into our area. If we can pop up the camera view in the corner of our screen here from KLBK Studios, let's do that and show you exactly what that is on the ground. What you're seeing right there, that lowering, that's that little hook feature. Chris, if you don't mind, let's move this just a little bit further to the east so that camera view isn't taking up the rotation part of the other way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There we go. So that lowering part that you're seeing on that camera view right there is this feature. That's moving due east at 35 miles per hour. So Chris, what I'm going to ask you to do, let's put a storm track on that little appendage there and track it east. It's already set for 35 miles per hour. Let's track it 1 hour out and let you know some of the communities, some of the areas that could be involved with that. Chris is working on getting that up, so we're taking a look right now at this storm from Kyle Allen. He's down off of 6282, pretty close to FM 1585. But I can tell you right now, if you live anywhere from, say, 78th Street all the way down to 114th, you need to be in your tornado safe place right now. That storm is continuing to track through southern Lubbock. So 82nd, 98th Street, there are a lot of residential areas here in South Lubbock that need to be in their safe place. What you need to do, just go ahead, turn your TV volume all the way up here with us on KLBK Channel 13. Because as you're in your safe place, we'll be keeping you updated as the storm tracks into the region of the city of Lubbock. And as we look at this storm, you're able to see still we don't have any confirmed touchdowns out of this storm, but there's a few little appendages here, some back over here that look a little swirly and kind of getting down close to the ground that could potentially produce a tornado at any moment in time. That is why we are cutting into your programming this evening, tracking this tornado-warned storm as it heads toward the city of Lubbock. We are continuing to track this, and we will stay on the air and do so until that warning is either expired for the hub city or that tornado warning is canceled for the city of Lubbock. But again, that's our wall cloud, the lowering of the wall cloud that we are tracking through the city of Lubbock right now. And if you live south of 50th Street, honestly, all the way down to 114th or 136th, you need to be headed to your safe place, because it looks like that is the general area that has the greatest likelihood of seeing this rotation pass through. In addition to that rotation, it looks like all of the city of Lubbock could see hail up to 2.5 inches in diameter. We'll go back to WSI system number 2 real quick.
Yeah, because we've got multiple severe thunderstorm warnings. I know we're focused on the Lubbock tornado warning, but a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings as well.
You can see a lot of those in Garza County, back towards Tahoka, Lynn County there. You're getting in on a lot of that action. East of Gale along Highway 380, I believe, between Gale and Snyder. That storm has a possibility of 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Southeast of Muleshoe there in Bailey County, moving into northwestern Lamb County. There's another warning for you. Tulia, you guys are getting in on a lot of that heavy action right now. Some hail, gusty winds. And then back to our east from Briscoe Hall down towards Motley, even on over into Childress County, you've got severe storms headed your way. But again, Chris, I want us to focus on this storm here in the county of Lubbock, the city of Lubbock, as that tornado-warned storm continues to track in. Let's go back to WSI system number 1. That's where we have a current view of this tornado-warned storm. And notice what happens here. If you were joining us earlier this evening on Facebook Live, this storm was tracking due north and east out of Terri and Yoakum counties into Hockley County, then it hit level land and turned right. It's continuing to turn right and actually going a little bit more to the east and possibly even southeast right now, and it's actually pushed that storm from South Lubbock on off to the east. So this storm is one of the stronger ones in our region right now, continuing to move into the city of Lubbock. Here at KLBK Studios, for everyone in the building, as this storm continues to approach, you need to be thinking about getting into the center part of our building, pretty close to the newsroom, some of the restrooms we have, because we are going to need to head to that safe place at the moment in time that is deemed no longer safe for us to be on air. But we will continue to track this storm as it gets closer towards the city of Lubbock. But just a heads up to everyone in the building, within the next 5 to 10 minutes, we will need to head to our safe place there, pretty close to the restrooms that are in the newsroom here of our building. But this tornado warning lasts until 8:30 p.m. for the city of Lubbock. We still got 28 minutes on this storm now as it tracks on off to the east. I'm going to step off camera real quick, adjust a few things here.
3 miles west of Wolforth at 7:50. That was about 10 minutes ago. Had a storm chaser report a brief touchdown in an open field. So
we have had a confirmed touchdown with this storm now just to the west of Wolforth in the city of Lubbock. So again, or rather the city of Wolforth. Wolforth is here 3 miles west, which is exactly where that hook feature is located at on this storm. That is moving on off to the east. So what I'm going to do real quick, zoom in very close here and track this storm to the east at 35 miles per hour. If there's going to be a tornado, it's going to be in this general vicinity right here. But you can see the TV station in the line here, KLBK Studios at 8:21 p.m. The mall over off of Slide Avenue between 50th and the South Loop around 8:16. Posey at 8:37 and Burris at 8:30. So this storm is tracking into the Lubbock metro area as we speak. And as meteorologist Chris White did mention, we've had confirmed reports of a brief touchdown about 3 miles to the west of the city of Wolforth. As we take a look at our sky view, this is what it looks like out there right now from the top of our tower here. And our people in the booth there, if you can keep me updated on where our storm chasers are at, that would be great. But this is a serious situation, Lubbock, okay? You need to be headed to your tornado safe place right now. The area of your home that is located in is going to be in the center portion of your home, okay? You want to put as many walls between you and the outside of your house as physically possible, and make sure you're in a room where no windows are at. This feature right here is the one that we are going to watch as we go over the next several minutes. Again, that tornado warning remains in effect for the city of Lubbock, and we're going to keep it on this view right here as this storm tracks in. The county of Lubbock has over 300,000 people that lives in it, so this has the potential to be a particularly dangerous situation. This is our wall cloud right here. Chris, what do you have?
Yeah, newest update from the Weather Service at 8:03. That was a minute ago. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Wolforth, or 8 miles west of Lubbock, moving east at 35.
And that's exactly what we're seeing here. This area right there is what we are going to track very closely as it heads into our region. So if you are hearing me on your TV screen and you live in the city of Lubbock, you need to get in your safe place immediately. That is going to be in the middle portion of your home, away from the outside walls and windows. And Chris, I'm going to let you real quick, what were you saying earlier about Wolforth, those confirmed touchdown there?
There was a report of a brief touchdown in an open field. That was, let me pull that back up real quick.
But again, in Wolforth, we had that confirmed touchdown a few moments ago.
3 miles west of Wolforth.
Alrighty, so 3 miles west of Wolforth. That is probably over the city of Wolforth now. You can see it there on your screen. And that is continuing to track to the east and will impact the city of Lubbock here pretty soon. As it continues to track to the east, we are continuing to see that threat of a tornado across our city. Now, what we're looking at on our screen, that's our wall cloud beginning to lower here. Folks in the control room here at KLBK Studios, we're about 5 minutes out from us needing to go to our safe place. Chris and I will stay in studios as long as we think it is safe and necessary to bring you this, but we are watching this right here. This region is where we have that lowering, and we're going to watch this very closely because that is as jagged as it has looked this evening. Starting to see that funnel now very close to Wolforth, possibly getting ready to make another brief touchdown. So we're going to keep it on this. This tornado most likely going to track south of 50th Street, north of 114, and head right through a pretty populated area of Lubbock. That's where that storm is headed. In addition to the threat of a tornado, we've also seen confirmed hail of 2.5 inches in diameter and also some very heavy rainfall. But this right here, you can kind of see those two little appendages circulating around one another. That is where we are concerned with a possibility of tornado. This is located directly over Wolforth right now, and it will continue to track to the east, very close to 82nd Street. So if you know anyone that lives off of 82nd Street, that is where the greatest concern, in my opinion, in my professional opinion, that we have for the possibility of a tornado. We're keeping it right here. Real quick though, let's swap back on, or rather I have the control of the graphics here. We will swap over, show you this storm as it moves into Lubbock County. Right in this region is where we're tracking that tornado and that rotating wall cloud. Headed due east here, that's pretty close to 82nd, 98th Street in Lubbock. So please, I'm urging you to get into your safe place right now. This is a serious situation that you need to take very seriously. We're getting a lot clearer of a view on this right now, and Chris, if you see any reports come in, please let me know as the storm continues to push to the east. But right in this region, we're seeing that wall cloud. This area right in here is where we're likely going to have the greatest likelihood of rotation. If we're going to see a tornado, it's going to pop up here on our camera, so that's why we're going to keep it right here. If we have any of our storm chasers out that have a better vantage point back in the control room, just let me know in my earpiece. But if you are in KLBK studios right now, you need to start getting ready to head to those bathrooms that we have in our newsroom, okay? That's the center port of our building. In fact, to be completely specific with you, the men's restroom is probably where most of our staff needs to be headed right now to seek shelter from this storm as it continues to track to the east through the city of Lubbock. It's now likely just a little bit to the east of the community of Wolforth, and what I want Chris White to do is get that velocity product ready on WSI system number 2 so we can get a look at these winds and see where they are most likely producing a rotation at. But we're able to see it right there. This is likely a funnel trying to develop right here. So real quick, swap on over to WSI system number 2. We're going to take a look at that storm, and look at that. We're seeing a bit of a peak there in the green and red near the community of Wolforth, and really in the F in Wolforth. Right about in there is where I would think the greatest possibility of that tornado is at. So I'm going to keep my finger here, swap back to WSI system number 1 real quick, and that is likely what we're seeing where those greens and reds are touching. This is our rotating wall cloud. Folks, if we're going to have a tornado develop, you're going to see it right here on KLBK News. And in fact, there's a funnel starting to develop right now. We're going to watch that very closely as it could touch down here on the west side of the Lubbock Metro. Again, we've had confirmed reports of this funnel making touchdown near Wolforth, just to the west. We've got to look off of 82nd and Wolforth, looking back towards Lubbock. This is underneath the backside of that storm. You can see a very mean looking storm, but go back to WSI system number 1 right now. That is where the urgency is, because we have a funnel developing and heading into the city of Lubbock. Again, I repeat, if you live south of 50th Street, north of 114th,
that's coming down. It's coming down.
You need to pay very close attention to the storm. We are here on KLBK News. We're going to keep you calm through the storm, and we're going to keep you safe through this. But this is a serious situation. You need to take very serious actions on this storm, as we have that tornado developing now near the community of Wolforth, likely going to touch down sometime soon and move in towards the city of Lubbock. I'm Meteorologist Jacob Riley. The current time is 8:09 here on KLBK Channel 13 in Lubbock, Texas, and we are tracking this funnel cloud that is developing just to the west of our city. We have had multiple reports of funnels this evening near the community of Wolforth, especially just to the west of Wolforth. But again, we're starting to see that funnel rotate on this storm. Again, there's no need to panic. We're tracking the system for you. We're letting you know where it's at. But what we need you to do at home, get to your safe place right now, because that tornado is very close to touching down here on the west side of town and could move through our city within the next 5 to 10 minutes. A tornado warning remains in effect until 8:30 p.m. But again, we are tracking this funnel cloud. It is getting very close to touching down on the west side of Lubbock near Wolforth, and this is something you don't want to see approaching a city of 250,000 people. But that is exactly what we're seeing right now. This tornado is continuing to develop right now, just a funnel. We're not seeing that connection to the ground. We've got a view from the ground. Let's take it, Kate. You said it in the booth. Pop it up. There it is. Some of that lower hanging cloud showing up with this storm. Where is this at, Kate? Okay, this is on the southwest side of town. One of our employees, Jason Davis, reporting this for us right now, pretty close to Friendship, in the Friendship area. Let's go back to our current camera, though, that we have tracking the storm on the KLBK live tower camera. There it is. That's the exact same rotation he was seeing. So That's a funnel. You can see a few more of those off to the side as this storm is trying to spin up and make a touchdown on the west side of the city of Lubbock. Again, the current time now is 8:11. I'm meteorologist Jacob Riley here on KLBK News. We have been tracking this storm through Wolfforth and now moving into Lubbock. Chris, what do you have?
Yeah, we just lost our funnel cloud on the tower cam right now. It's dissipating.
So that is beginning to filter on out. That is good news. But again, this is the area that we're watching for the possibility of a development of a tornado. Now at the ground, as we look near the surface, you can't really see anything getting lofted up there. That's good news, okay? That means that tornado, that funnel cloud, didn't quite touch down, but this storm has been cycling and producing those quick little bursts of tornadoes as it's been pushing off to the east. So we are tracking this very closely. If you live south of 50th Street in the city of Lubbock and north of 114th, you better be in your safe place right now. Get into the middle portion of your home. And in fact, here at KLBK Studios, all non-essential staff needs to get to our safe place, which is going to be the men's restroom here out of the newsroom. So get to that area right now. We're continuing to see this wall cloud cycle and redevelop funnel clouds in the area. Meteorologist Chris Whited and myself will be here tracking this storm as it moves into our city, potentially producing a tornado in the city of Lubbock tonight. The current time now 8:12 on Monday, May 17th. We've been talking about the possibility of severe storms all weekend long, and now the time has arrived and we are seeing those winds really begin to pick up here in the city of Lubbock.
Yeah,
tracking the supercell. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, weather service confirming what we were just reporting here. The funnel is dissipated.
Yeah, and that's great news to hear, but that does not mean that you get to let your guard down, okay? That has happened multiple times. It's reproduced funnels, and they've touched down this evening. And as this moves into the city of Lubbock, we're expecting it to continue that cycle. So we could see a touchdown here in the hub city tonight. Right now, it's 8:13. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jacob Riley alongside Meteorologist Chris Whited, and in the KLBK First Warning Weather Center, Terri Furman is also helping us out this evening. But this
you know, his flag's still there since he's a veteran.
Gabrielle Flores and her family were out at Peaceful Gardens Memorial Park this weekend, visiting her father, Jose Flores, when Gabrielle says she saw something disturbing.
I noticed a lot of other
east of Guthrie there in King County. Tornado warning remains in effect for a radar indicated rotation. That storm is exiting the region, and then from Matador back up to Turkey, Kittiquay over towards Silverton, northeast of Tulia there in Swisher County. Severe storms capable of 70-mile-per-hour winds and ping pong ball sized hail. But notice really over the past couple of hours, the radar has really just popped. We've seen a lot more of those reds pop up. Even seen some new development north of Lamesa, some more northwest of Tahoka, that one near New Home, which could impact southern portions of the metro and Levelland, keeping our eye there. Let's go ahead back to the top of the tower camera here at KLBK Studios, facing back towards the west. That is looking at that storm in Levelland. And as Terri had mentioned earlier during our broadcast this evening, has a history. It looks like we could be starting to see a little bit of a funnel there in the center once again as this storm continues to cycle. We're going to continue to see the storm cycle as it moves through the hub city this evening. We've been on air and on Facebook Live tracking these storms as they developed over western portions of the region, headed in towards our area, but now our focus turns back to this wall cloud because what we're seeing here, some of those low rings beginning to pop back up once again, which could be an indication of a tornado trying to develop on this storm as it moves into Lubbock. Chris, what do you have?
This thing's really not moving. The latest update still has this right over Wolfforth.
Okay, if we have our velocity products up, let's go ahead and try to pull that up.
I do have that up
so
on Max too, WSI Max.
Yeah,
well, it's right behind you there.
We've got that right now. So the National Weather Service in Lubbock has trimmed back that warning to take out shallow water and Smyer. It's now only in portions of Lubbock County. But as Chris mentioned, we'll clear that circle off because a new scan just came in. It now looks like basically over, if not slightly to the east of Wolfforth. Chris, if you clear that, there we go. Right in this general vicinity here is where we likely have the greatest possibility of seeing that wall cloud develop. Notice there's the mall off of Slide Avenue. There's Texas Tech. Here's the TV station at South University and South Loop 289. But again, we're going to be tracking this general area now to the east of Wolfforth, so it's inside of the Lubbock metro area now. let's get back on over to WSI system number 1. We are tracking this storm right now. This general region right here is where we have the highest likelihood of seeing that tornado develop. That funnel cloud, we had one earlier, was produced. This region right here starting to get my interest, guys, as it looks like it could be trying to get its act together, possibly getting ready to produce another funnel cloud. This right here, that's not a funnel. That's just some of that warm air feeding into the storm, building the energy that we have with this storm right now. And again, there's no need to panic. There's no need to freak out. We're going to be here with you, getting you through the storm on KLBK, because that is our job, to make sure that we stay calm through the storm so that you all stay safe at home. But again, we've had that confirmed funnel associated with this storm to the west of Wolfforth. It's now located directly over Wolfforth, but it looks like that's what we're starting to see. A little bit more of a circulation there west of Wolfforth. You can see some of those lower hanging clouds, and they're kind of dancing around with one another. So that could be the area in which we see a possible funnel cloud develop once again, maybe eventually turning into a tornado. But what we're looking at the top of the tower here at KLBK Studios, this is South Loop 289 on the right side of your screen. This is looking back towards Wolfforth. You can see some more of those little appendages popping out there in the left center portion of your screen this evening. But if you're just now tuning in with us, it's now 8:17 here on Monday, May 17th. We are tracking a tornado-warned storm that is headed into the city of Lubbock and does have a history of producing some funnels as it moves into the area. I'm here with Chris Whitehead, meteorologist, and he's got some latest information for us.
Yeah, we're going to keep it on this view that you're on, Jacob, but I want to let people know down at Lake Allen Henry, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning down there. There could be 70 mile per hour, 60, 70 mile per hour winds and some hail up to 1 inch. So
eastern Garza, western Kent County, you've got some hail and high winds headed your way. Hopefully you're not out on the lake. You need to be headed inside to a safe place. But Lubbock County residents, you need to be in your safe place, especially the city of Lubbock. If you live south of 50th Street and north of 114th Street, you need to be in your safe place. This tornado-warned storm, the area of circulation is right between 82nd Street and 98th Street, over closer towards the Wolfforth community. But notice this area, we're starting to see a few more of those lower hangings come out of the cloud, and that's going to track through the east through our city. So we're going to be tracking this very closely. Again, meteorologist Chris Whitehead made the observation that the storm really isn't moving much, but now focus your attention to the screen. This is where we're starting to see that circulation once again of a funnel cloud that is developing now within the city limits of Lubbock. So if you are a Lubbock resident, turn your TV volume all the way up, get into a safe place, the middle portion of your home, away from any outside walls or windows, and you want to hunker down and get as low to the ground as you can. If you have a basement, even better, get to your basement, a storm shelter. But we're watching this again. This storm, Chris, is beginning to cycle like we saw a while ago, producing a new funnel that is trying to get closer to the ground here. So we're going to stay pretty close on this storm right now as it tracks into the city of Lubbock. Again, our camera is located at South Loop 289 and South University Avenue, looking back to the west-southwest near the community of Wolfforth. It actually looks like this could be a little bit closer to 98th and 114th Street here in the city of Lubbock, pretty close to Wolfforth on the other side of Frankfort and Milwaukee Avenues. So that's where it's pretty close to right now. A lot of new development in that region. In fact, they're just now putting up a new water tower in that area of town. That's where it's going to be pretty close to. We currently have a live look from the ground of what this storm looks like. We'll go ahead and pull that. This is our storm chaser, Kyle Allen. He's tracking this storm on the south side of Lubbock. From his vantage point, you can't see any touchdowns. That's good news. Let's get back to WSI System 1, though, because we are tracking that potential funnel cloud that is developing with this storm. What you're seeing on the left side of your screen, that area of brown kind of beginning to get kicked up, that's some of the dust from the downflow winds out of this storm wrapping around the back side of that storm. On the front side, we're seeing that wind go up right here, and where the wind goes up and the wind comes down creates that circulation, and that's exactly where we're starting to see those funnel clouds develop here on southwestern sides of the Lubbock metro area. So again, if you live west of Frankfort Avenue between 114th and 82nd Street, it looks like that is where that rotation is most likely occurring at this point in time. If you live south of 50th Street in the city of Lubbock and north of, say, 138th Street, you need to be in your safe place right now, because we're still seeing some of those appendages stick down from the base of the storm.
We're getting that hook development again on the radar. I'm looking at it on Max 2 here.
But real quick, let's swap to Max System number 2. We'll take a look at what this looks like, and as Chris said, that is almost textbook definition of that hook feature. This little circled area east of Wolfforth now. Chris, I want you to zoom in all the way down to street level if you can.
Okay, that's right along 98th Street here,
Okay,
but we'll come in closer. I'll get the
zoom in
street
close.
level.
So right now, again, Upland Avenue, 98th. There's Milwaukee, Frankfort. So Milwaukee and Frankfort, it's headed into your area right now. There's 82nd, 98th. So we've got a lot of new development over in that region. Dakota Arms apartments are into that area. There's Frankfort Avenue. We've got a T to go. Monterey Church of Christ is right along in this area up here. So if you are realizing any of these landmarks in the city of Lubbock, you need to be headed to your safe place. Frankfort Avenue, we have a lot of car dealerships up here to the north of that. Bob Mills Furniture, if you're relatively close to that area, you need to be headed to your safe place. This is 98th Street. There's that hook feature moving due east. It looks like it's tracking between 82nd Street and 114th Street on off to our east. So again, tracking this very closely. Here is Slide Road. There's the mall. Looks like it will stay to the south of South Loop 289, continuing to move along 98th Street. So real quick, let's hop back to System 1 because this funnel is continuing to develop across the region. And as we look, this is the area of greatest concern right here. That's where we're beginning to see that hook right now. So as I've mentioned several times this evening, if you live in the city of Lubbock south of 50th Street, you need to be in your safe place right now. The current time is 8:22. That warning goes for 7.5 more minutes, but I do expect the National Weather Service to continue this warning because those funnels are continuing to develop right here, pretty close to Frankfort Avenue now, getting closer to Slide Avenue and 98th Street. That's where if we're going to have a tornado touchdown in the next 5 minutes, it's going to happen at. So pretty close over there to Soda Shack. You know, we've got a couple of restaurants. There's a United Supermarkets in that region, and also getting close to Joann's in the shopping center over there. My wife loves to shop there, so that's how I know all these places in southwestern Lubbock. But again, if you live to the north of 138th Street in the city of Lubbock, south of 50th Street, get to your safe place now. We currently have a possible tornado to the south of South Loop 289, pretty close to 98th Street here and also Frankfort Avenue. So that intersection is where we're tracking this possible rotation. And if we're going to have a tornado touchdown, it's going to be in this general area right here. So far, we have had confirmed reports of funnels touching down with this storm. And again, like I've mentioned, the storm is moving slow. But if you are not essential staff here in KLBK studios, meaning if you're not helping us get on air or bringing us reports, you might want to go ahead and go to that safe place in our newsroom right now. We have, again, had reports of up to 2.5-inch hail along this tornado-warned storm as it tracks into the city of Lubbock. But again, as we look near the ground, it's close enough that we would be able to see debris.
We have hail hitting the roof here at the building.
If it were on the ground, but we're not seeing that. In fact,
hey, Jacob,
now
new tornado warning going to be issued at 8:30.
Okay, so they are going to continue this tornado warning from the National Weather Service office in Lubbock. It is now hailing here at our studio at South Loop 289 and South University Avenue, close to 78th Street. But we're watching this rotation in this wall cloud on this storm as it tracks into the city of Lubbock. If you're just now tuning in, we apologize for cutting into programming this evening, but we have a tornado-warned storm that has had confirmed touchdowns just to the west of the city of Lubbock. So we're going to stay right here to keep you safe and get through this together as it tracks through our city. Right now, we're seeing a possible funnel develop pretty close to Milwaukee, Frankfort Avenue, along 98th, 82nd, and 114th Street. So we're watching that funnel. This is what we're seeing right now on your screen. Chris, what do you have pulled up in WSI system number 2 right now?
Number 2, I still have the radar pulled up.
Okay, let's pop that up real quick. Let's zoom in, keep it on that street level if we can.
Yeah,
Chris,
I'm going to come back down here.
Let's pull up WSI 2. We're getting to see that classic little, what we would call a debris ball on signature, but again, we don't have a confirmed tornado on the ground from our sky view. So Frankfort Avenue along 98th, that is where we currently have the possible tornado developing. There's Slide Avenue headed towards Quaker, Indiana. There's 82nd Street. So south of 82nd, south of the South Loop 289 is where we're going to have the greatest likelihood. And we have got some pretty decent sized hail falling here at the studios right now. At least quarter size. We're working on seeing that. Let's jump back to WSI system number 1 right now.
Anyone that's in the newsroom, could we possibly zoom out just a bit or maybe turn the camera just slightly to the left so we can kind of get a look toward that back end, because that's where the rotation is.
We're going to work on that. It's moving more in this general direction right now, so we're keeping a very close eye on this storm as it moves in. But what we're seeing overall, nothing too crazy right now. We're not seeing a touchdown anywhere, but we are starting to see some of those hailstones fall here at South Loop 289 and 78th Street, which is where KLBK studios are. And if we've got any reports of that coming from here at the studios, it'd be greatly appreciated. At least a quarter-sized hail falling here now at South Loop 289 and 82nd Street. I'm going to hop on over to the other side of the screen, give my neck a little bit of a break, but also so we can get a better look on the storm. Right in this region is where we're going to watch for the possibility of this storm. I know meteorologist Chris White had asked if we could move it to the left. If we could zoom it out just a bit, that would be great so that we could still keep a great view on the storm. You can see some of those winds moving back into the storm this way and coming out. Okay, so this is as far zoomed out as we can go. What we're going to do is continue to track this storm, because if there is going to be a tornado touchdown,
there we go.
We are going to see it for you. And this general area is where we're tracking the possibility of this tornado right now. Again, we've seen multiple funnels form with this, but haven't quite made it to the ground in the city of Lubbock. But we're going to continue to track this as it heads into our city. We're here on KLBK News. We're here to keep you safe through the storm. That's exactly what we're doing this evening. And the current time now, it's about 8:26, 8:27. The National Weather Service has reissued that tornado warning for Lubbock County and the city of Lubbock, but we're going to watch the right side of your screen, and because if we have a tornado, that's exactly where it's going to develop and eventually move back into our city. So we're tracking this closely. Again, if you live to the south of the south of 98th Street all the way back over to 114th, we are tracking this storm very closely. Chris, I'm going to let you talk a little bit because I have got to change out my batteries for a second.
Yeah, we're continuing to watch that, and I noticed briefly for a second there, we had a pretty good view of some mammatus clouds on the back end of this storm there a little bit earlier here. But while you're looking at that on the live tower cam here at KLBK, I'll just give you an update. The latest radar data is showing this area of rotation pretty much in the area of 98th Street and Milwaukee Avenue.
Starting to see that rotating wall cloud make its way back onto the screen. The far right side, that's where I want you to turn your attention to right now. This general area, you kind of can see that beginning to spin just a little bit. If we're going to see a funnel, which looks like to be what's developing right now, that's where it's going to be. So we're going to keep our eye here on the right side of our screen. Near 98th and Milwaukee is where that tornado could possibly touch down here pretty soon. So again, that tornado warning remains in effect for southern portions of the city of Lubbock, and that is continuing to track to the east. We just had quarter-sized hail here at KLBK Studios at South Loop 289 and University Avenue. If we could barely move that camera to the right just a little bit, it would be great, because that's where that rotation is at right now. We're able to see it here on our radar. Very weak, but you can see some clouds moving this way, and on the top, those clouds moving back to the right. So that tornado warning lasts for Lubbock County until 9 p.m. Central Time this evening. We've seen some hail falling still out of this storm here at KLBK Studios. And also, let's go back the other direction, because that's where the tornado's at. This is just the front edge of the storm. If there's going to be a tornado, it's going to be back to the right. So we're going to work on getting our camera turned back around into the right direction so we can track this funnel cloud as it moves in for you. But again, ooh, is that some hail? Let's see that. Let me see it. So this is the hail we have falling here at KLBK Studios right now. You can see up to about some quarter-sized hail falling. I don't know if all of you can make that out pretty well. But we've got that hail falling. That's big enough to damage your car. So definitely be safe with that. Special thanks to Matt, Marcus, whoever it was that brought that in for us. But again, what you're looking at on your screen, if we're going to see a funnel develop with a storm, it's going to be in this general area somewhere. If you look close enough, we do have some of that cloud coverage moving to the right, some of it moving back to the left. So this general area is where we're going to keep our focus as the storm continues to pull into the city of Lubbock. So we're continuing to track that here. Right now, we've been tracking that on radar as well, tracking these winds, but there's some good hail falling over downtown Lubbock right now. So you guys just stay safe out there. We're continuing to see some of these rain sheets moving on the back side of this rotation. But whenever you look at this, go ahead, Chris.
Just to let everybody know, this tornado warning is roughly from the North Loop south.
Okay.
So if you're
all the Lubbock Metro,
if you're north of the North Loop, you're not in the polygon.
Okay. So what we're seeing here with these clouds, notice how slow they're moving. That's a good sign, okay? Whenever those clouds start to move very rapidly, that's whenever we have more of a likelihood of seeing an imminent tornado touchdown. But right now, they're moving pretty slow. You can see some of the clouds moving that way, some of them moving this way, but generally the rotation is right in this region, getting very close to, say, 98th and Quaker Avenue now as it continues to track to the east through the city of Lubbock. But we've had 1-inch sized hail confirmed here at KLBK Studios. We just showed that to you on air, and this tornado warning remains in effect until 9 p.m. this evening. It's currently 8:31, so we still have some time to track this storm as it moves into our region. But again, this is a pretty serious situation, folks, for the city of Lubbock. This storm is moving into our town, and again, it had confirmed reports of touchdowns back on the other side of Wolfforth, and we could see some of those here.
82nd and Slide area.
Say that again.
Cindy, our general manager, said it just dropped at 82nd and Slide area.
Okay, so we've apparently had a new confirmed touchdown near 82nd and Slide Avenue of a tornado, at least a funnel, briefly touching down in the city of Lubbock. So if you live in the city of Lubbock, you better be in your safe place right now. You're watching KLBK News, Channel 13. It's our job to keep you safe through the storm, so you need to be in that safe place. We're seeing that storm rotate right here near Slide Avenue in 82nd, where one of our own managers here at KLBK News has confirmed a brief touchdown. Seeing a little bit there of what could be a funnel
sorry.
right here.
Got the picture afterwards. Hail fell.
Okay,
in that
so
area.
We've got a lot of hail falling there, but still we are seeing the possibility of a tornado there at 82nd Street and Slide Avenue here in Lubbock as this storm continues to rotate as it moves in, but a pretty nice sunset on the underside of that storm, but definitely the tell of West Texas out here. It goes from one end of the spectrum to the other in a very short matter of time, and that's what we're seeing. A lot of that rotation still here on our screen this evening as that tornado-warned storm continues to track through our area. Chris, you got some new information
Yeah, just
for
to
us?
let you know, we still have the radar up on Max 2 in the metro area. The only problem is now we have very heavy rain falling at the airport, so the radar is being attenuated, and we're not able to see any velocity products right now.
Right, thank you, Chris. So that storm moving through the city of Lubbock, hitting Preston Smith International Airport, so likely a lot of hail there. You're going to see some flight delays if you're expecting anyone in Lubbock. Let's go back to System 1, though, as we continue to track this rotating wall cloud.
It looks like it's trying to rebuild back to the southwest, maybe just a little bit.
Let's go ahead and take that then, Kate. We've got another view of that from the south and west. This is looking down South University Avenue, I presume, but you can see some of that storm there just to the south of Lubbock. This is about 98th Street here. 82nd is going to be right here on your screen. But again, watching the storm very closely as it continues to move to the west. But again, a tornado warning remains in effect for the city of Lubbock until at least 9 o'clock tonight. We've had reports of touchdowns over in Wolfforth this evening, and those are continuing to move to the east into the city of Lubbock. If we can, let's swap back over to that other camera, though, because that is a little bit more of where we're looking at now. Look at that mammatus under the underside and back of this storm. That's just indicating how turbulent the sky can be. So in Lubbock, once that tornado pushes out, we're going to be in store for a nice sunset, a bit of a calm to the storm. But we're watching this general area here as those clouds, you can see, slowly rotating around one another. We're going to watch this and stick with this as this moves through our town, as it has had a history of producing a tornado. Still getting some relatively large hail, it sounds like, falling here at KLBK Studios, about $half size. That's 1.25 inches in diameter. But again, tracking all of this on off to our north. If you are at KLBK Studios and you are not essential staff, please get into that safe place right now, because if we are going to see a tornado hit our station, it will be now a nice sunset back to the north, some more mammatus over northern portions of Lubbock, but it is grayed out over the city of Lubbock. Look at all of that hail falling right now. We can hear it picking up here at KLBK Studios, hitting our roof. So bear with us, it might get loud for a little bit. But back to the south of that on WSI system number 2, that's where we're tracking this storm right now. Our radar is a little blurry, but right in here, this is South Loop 289. That rotation is going to be along between 114th and 82nd Street, pushing on off towards the east, very close to Indiana Avenue and getting close to University Avenue. So if we're going to see a touchdown, it's going to be right in that general area there. pretty close to 82nd Street and University Avenue, tracking on off towards the east. I have friends and family that live in that area, so if you're watching, get to your safe place now. You should have been there a long time ago. But again, this storm continues to track to the east. A big hail core tracking along South Loop 289 right now. That's what's beginning to hit our studio. So that rotation is likely a little further to the east, but right over the TV station here, that's where we have that big area of purple and pink popping up. That tornado warning remains in effect until 9 p.m. this evening time for the city of Lubbock. We're going to get some people to see if they can see how large that hail is falling outside. But the city of Lubbock getting hit pretty hard right now by this hail and also some of this wind moving into our area and that possible tornado pretty close to our TV station now. So everyone in the building needs to be in that safe place. Right now, our studio is in the center portion of the building. I think it is safe enough for us to stay right here and stay on air to bring you the latest updates on this storm. Control room is in the center portion. It's safe as well, but if you are not essential staff, you need to be in that safe place in the men's restroom off of our newsroom. But we're tracking that storm, continuing to move on off to the east right now, moving very close to the TV station. So if we're going to see something, it's going to be hitting us here relatively quick. Let's go back to WSI system number 1. Take a look at our camera. I believe it is still looking back to the north over the city of Lubbock. You can see University Avenue right about there. There's a new YMCA building, a bit of a pond in that residential area just north of the TV station, but it's pretty much grayed out. Let's see if we can swap over to our other tower camera we have here at KLBK Studios. Again, the current time is 8:37. We're tracking a tornado warning storm moving through the city of Lubbock this evening. It is May 17th, 2021, facing back towards the south. And you can see we're not seeing a lot of rotation from this particular view. But if there is a rotation area, it's going to be directly above us. So it will be hard to see anyway. But again, tracking the storm as it continues to track towards the east. But again, we'll watch this storm as it moves through the area. Go back to WSI system number 1 real quick. We're looking down at our roof here, and we're able to see some of those hailstones just falling and streaking across. There's the back parking lot. There's my car right there. So it's a little difficult.
My car.
It's a little difficult to look at this right now. But again, we're seeing that large hail fall here at 78th Street. That's right there in South Loop 289 University Avenue. But again, that hail falling over the city of Lubbock. Pretty much this hailstorm, the worst parts moving right through Lubbock. 1 year ago today, we had baseball-sized hail confirmed in Lubbock. Don't know how large it is now, but at least $half size here on the south side of town. But again, that tornado warning remains in effect. That's why we are on the air tracking this storm as it moves through your area. The current time is now 8:38. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jacob Riley. We've got some of that hail coming in now. And it's not as bad as what it looked like earlier. Maybe up to some nickel-sized hail here we've got falling at the studio. But it definitely sounds bad as it hits the roof. So probably some bigger stones mixed in. And if some of this kind of set for a bit, I'm sure it did melt some as well. But I'm going to take a bit of a break. Chris, let me know what you're seeing on WSI System 2. Chris in the booth, let's go ahead and swap back over. And Chris White.
Yeah, we'll switch over to 2 here. And I wanted to show you, obviously you can see the radar beam there coming out of the airport, and there's heavy rain falling, but you can see this area of rotation right now pretty much on the south loop. But I'm going to pull up the velocity data, and we're having a hard time seeing products on the velocity data because the heavy rain that's falling out of the airport. And we're even looking at this from a distance. This is the Midland radar, and you can see from Midland, keep in mind Midland's way down there looking at this, and by the time their beam gets up here, it's pretty high up. So this storm is rotating just a bit here, but come in a little bit closer on your TV screen and we'll get pretty much the entire loop here on your television screen. You can see a TV station obviously where we're at, and you can see the heavy rain, the core of the hail kind of moving, we'll say roughly right now between 19th Street and the South Loop. So pretty good chunk of the city of Lubbock.
Yeah, if you live north of 82nd Street and south of Marcia Sharp, you are getting hail more than likely right now. So hopefully all of you have your vehicles covered and are not parked under any bridges or overpasses. But again, that tornado warning remains in effect for Lubbock County all of the way until 9 o'clock this evening. My wife sent me a video, or a picture rather, of what looks to be a funnel cloud that moved relatively close to where we live. We live south of the loop and north of 114th. So definitely seeing that funnel as it continues to move through the area this evening. But again, you all need to be in your safe places right now. That tornado warning is in effect until 9 p.m. for the city of Lubbock, tracking to the south and east. So,
Hey,
Chris,
Jacob, I'm going to zoom out here in just a second because we got a bunch of new severe thunderstorm warnings, and I know we're focusing on Lubbock, but
so
we don't
heads
want
up
to forget
along
everybody.
Slayton Highway, though, Highway 84 just south of Lubbock into Slayton. That rotation picking up there. And again, this is round 1. I just want to remind everyone of that. We could see another round of this exact type of thing
that's the new
overnight
warning
tonight. So that new warning, very broad there, going from Garza through Crosby up to Floyd and southeastern Hale near Petersburg. Severe thunderstorm warning until 9:30 p.m. this evening, likely for at least quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Seeing another large Boeing segment there from Plainview back up through Silverton there from Swisher to Briscoe, northern Hale counties. Likely some 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-dollar-sized hail there. Back near Post, you're in the clear now. One off to your east, headed towards Lake Allen Henry. 70-mile-per-hour winds and ping-pong ball-sized hail possible there. Into the southeast up to Hoka, we had that
Jacob,
severe thunderstorm warning.
At 8:38, that was about 3 minutes ago, Lubbock Fire Rescue was reporting a funnel cloud at FM 1585 and US 87.
Okay, if we have Kyle Allen's feed, let's pull him back up because he's been tracking the storm right along 1585 all evening, and this is what he's seeing now. There's that funnel possibly. That's what they're reporting. This is down near Cooper, one of the Cooper schools, well to the south of 114th Street, pretty close to Highway 87 here, but you can see that there. That's where that funnel is going to be, now exiting to the east of the city of Lubbock. So on our top of the tower camera that faces to the east, if we can bring that in, it would be great to see that. Seeing some Amadas there still on the backside of the storm in the north side of Lubbock. That's indicating where we could have some of that hail developing as well. Let's go back to the other camera. You just had it on and try to pan it a little back to the left. Whenever we get to that, because this is looking more to the south and east. Well, no, this is actually right where it should be. This is looking back parallel to Highway 84. So somewhere in this general area is where we would see some of that rotation. If in fact we do have a tornado with this storm, you're able to see that heavy rain. Thankfully, the hail has stopped here at KLBK Studios. But meteorologist Chris Riley continuing to track this storm with me. What do you have, Chris?
At 8:41, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was near Woodrow, as we talked about, 1585, that area, are 5 miles southeast of Lubbock, moving east at 15 miles per hour.
Yeah, so that's this general area here. Looking at this feature, that could possibly be a funnel trying to develop and back in this area.
Hey, we got another
well.
hook showing back up on the radar, too.
All right, let's go ahead and show that on the radar real quick.
Yeah,
We've got a hook showing up right now south of University.
Well, it just disappeared.
And back over to Highway 87, but Chris, it could still be there. You know, we're close to the radar. We got a nice look on the ground coming in now from one of our storm chasers. Let's take that.
Yeah,
there's
it was right
Kyle
in that
Allen
area.
running back, and that's the high school I was telling you about, a big stadium right to the west of 87. There's that funnel. You can see it clear as day. That is now pretty close to the Slayton exit on Highway 84 and southeastern loop 289. That continuing to move down to the north of Slayton, Ransom Canyon. Get to your safe place. This storm is going to be tracking to your way back out to the eastern portions and southeastern portions of Lubbock County. Chris, I want you to zoom out. You know where this is at on the southeast loop, so let's try to track that off towards the east and southeast. I know Ransom Canyon is going to be in the path of this storm. You need to be in your safe place now. Possible funnel development on the left side of your screen with the storm as it continues to track to the east. All that air flowing up into the storm, really increasing the hail potential as well. So if you don't see that funnel make it to the ground, you're likely going to see some very strong winds and some large hail with this. But this is what we're watching. This feature right here, you can kind of see that looks like a funnel trying to get a little closer to the ground. But again, the storm has been cycling as it's moved through Lubbock County. The current time is now 8:44 on Monday, May 17th. We've been talking about the possibility of tornadoes and large hail for the past couple of days, and now we are seeing that verify right here in our very own city. Seeing that funnel trying to develop along the Interstate 27, Highway 87 corridor over South Lubbock, headed down Highway 84, pretty close to the Ransom Canyon area and Buffalo Springs Lake. So if you know anyone in that area, give them a call, shoot them a text. Make sure they know it's headed their way. They need to be headed to their tornado safe place right now, because this storm does have a history of producing touchdown tornadoes back over near Wolforth, and that's continuing to track to the east. Again, this feed is with storm chaser Kyle Russell Allen, who's been tracking the storm all evening. You can kind of see that's the area we're watching right now for the possibility of funnel development. And if you walked outside of the studios right now and look back to the east, you could probably see this here from KLBK. So we're tracking this very closely. That's that feature we're looking at right now. You can see kind of higher up, but man, just look at the contrast of the pictures on this view right now. Very serious situation as it pushes off to the east and southeast of Lubbock. This is at KLBK Studios, and we're facing this direction right here is due southeast back down towards Slayton. So it looks like this should generally stay to the north of the Slayton community. I'm going to step off screen real quick, and Chris, if you would, put a track on that on System 2. You can kind of see where that appendage would be.
Yeah, on System 2, and let me point out with the polygon, Ransom Canyon, Posey, and Slayton, or even Woodrow are not in this, so I have a feeling more than likely the Weather Service is going to issue a new tornado warning here, and it's going to include those areas pretty soon. But as Jacob was alluding to, this is kind of moving to the east and southeast, and I'll track this out here over the next, we'll say about 20 minutes, and just give you a couple of ideas of some of the areas. Ransom Canyon, based on the speed here, roughly maybe just before 9 o'clock, and the community of Burris, that's pretty much right now, just maybe a couple minutes away there. But these are the areas out to the east of the Lubbock area, heading back over into the eastern portions of Lubbock County, where we're looking at this storm continuing to move off into that direction. And it's hard to really see the features here on the radar because obviously it's pouring down rain at the airport, and this causes an effect called attenuation with the radar beam. And just for reference, I'll pull up another radar site here.
Okay, while you're doing that, Chris, real quick, we're going to pop up a live look that we have on the ground right now. Where was this, Kate? This is 82nd east of Interstate 27, down there where we've been tracking it this evening. But you can see the backside of that storm. What could be a little bit of a funnel. The video quality is not up to par here, but right in this region, that's what we're watching as that continues to move towards the east and southeast, back over towards Ransom Canyon, Slayton. You need to keep your eye on this storm as well, because in fact it does look like we have a little bit more of a funnel developing now. If my eyes serve me well, and if the quality of this video is good enough to see that type of thing, it looks like that funnel could be developing it once again as it exits southeastern portions of Lubbock County. So let's go back to what Chris was showing us, changing the radar view up a little bit, but Burris right there southeast where Slayton Highway.
Yeah, that radar view, that's Midland's radar. I'm trying to look at this from a couple of different perspectives.
Okay. But again, you can still make out the kind of hook feature right in this region. This is going to be that hell going up and over the top of that storm. But right along Highway 84 now, you can see that tornado warning very slim, continuing to track to the east and southeast. I'm sure the National Weather Service will decide whether to continue this warning within the next several minutes or replace it with a severe thunderstorm warning. But the fact of the matter is that if you live in Ransom Canyon, you need to be in your safe place out to Buffalo Springs Lake. And Chris, what's some of the latest info you've got?
Yeah, latest update from the National Weather Service at 8:47. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado 4 miles northeast of Woodrow or 7 miles southeast of Lubbock, moving to the east at 25 miles per hour.
So Ransom Canyon, you need to be in your safe place. Acuff, you're about to get a lot of that hell headed towards you. But I do want to give, if you live inside of the loop here in the city of Lubbock, you are in the all clear. You can get out of your safe place. We're seeing residents that live within inside the loop 289 in the city of Lubbock receiving the all clear. That tornado threat has ended for you for now. It is okay to come out of your safe place and maybe assess some of the hail damage you had, because we had a lot of that across town. But our area of interest is now focused to the north of Highway 84, exiting to the south and east of Lubbock, moving over towards Ransom Canyon, Buffalo Springs Lake. Lorenzo, this will not include you, but again, Ransom Canyon, heads up to you. I know a lot of people live down there. This storm could produce some heavy rainfall, so watch out for that flash flooding as well and the hail potential. Back up towards Acuff and Lorenzo, you're likely getting in on a lot of that heavy rain and hail as well. Now, Chris, I want to zoom out real quick. Actually, Kate, what do you have for me? Okay, let's take that tower cam facing back towards the east. This is moving through Idalou. The heavy rain and all is now. But this is going to be that rotating area right now. If you could repeat that one more time real quick, Kate. Okay, sounds good. So we're tracking the storm continuing to push on off to the east. If there's going to be any kind of circulation, it will be in this feature here that kind of looks like a little bit of a vacuum cleaner as it pushes out to the east of Lubbock. But Lubbock residents, again, if you live inside of the loop 289, we are in the clear now. Let's go back to radar, and I want to take an aerial view of the South Plains, of the KLBK viewing area. But again,
hey, Jacob, while we're doing that, just to let you know, the Weather Service is saying in their conference with us they're evaluating this and deciding if they're going to extend this tornado warning or issue a severe thunderstorm warning.
Okay, great news to hear. Thank you for that update, Chris. Kate, let's go ahead back to WSI system number 2, and we'll take a look across the region. That severe thunderstorm warning is southeastern Lynn County still there. Chris, loop this if you don't mind for me so we can see the general motion that these storms are moving.
This is going to be a 1 hour loop.
Okay, you're getting in on that action as well, but what we're also seeing here, a bit of an outflow boundary back to the north and west from those storms in the northern South Plains, southern Panhandle, seeing some development there in Bailey County behind that. So as that moves through, we could see a few more storms later this evening, but we're also expecting another line to develop tonight after midnight. Right now, though, the strongest storms from Olton back up through Silverton there, from Hale, Swisher over to Briscoe counties. Heads up Hall County, Floyd County down to Crosby County. You're getting in on that action too. Pretty much, if you live east of Lubbock, you're under some type of warning now, with the exception of Lamesa down to Gale. We're able to see kind of that outflow boundary there as well. We'll have to watch that overnight tonight as the dry line backs to the west could begin to kick off some more severe storms in our region. But the only tornado warning is about to expire here at 9 o'clock. For the city of Lubbock. If it expires sooner than that, we are getting off the air, but nonetheless we will be off the air at 9 o'clock this evening to return to that regularly scheduled programming for you. Again, we apologize for cutting into that programming, but tonight we had a life-threatening situation for the city of Lubbock. A tornado-warned storm did move through downtown and produce touchdown there in Wolford. So again, watching that across the area. KLBK's Kelsey Pittman says she is at 102nd and Avenue T, and the storm was directly over her. So again, she was tracking that storm as it moved through for us as well this evening. Hopefully she is okay and didn't receive much in the way of damage. But again, we are seeing that tornado warning still over southeastern portions of the metro, but it looks like now, Terry, you got some new details for us.
Yes, the National Weather Service just said the tornado threat has ended. They will convert to a severe thunderstorm warning.
Okay.
With 60-mile-an-hour winds for eastern Lubbock County.
Great to hear that.
And 1 inch
hail.
hail.
So let's zoom out on this storm in eastern Lubbock County. After this, Director Chris in the booth, we will return to programming, so do what you need to kind of get that in the motion and everything.
Yeah,
but that tornado warning is about to expire from, say, Idalou, closer to Lorenzo, down through southeastern portions of Lubbock, Ransom Canyon, that severe 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1 inch hail possible as this moves into eastern portions of Lubbock County. Whenever we're ready to go back to programming, just let me go in my ear and we'll toss it that way. But again, we've tracked a tornado warning through the city of Lubbock with a tornado touching down in Wolford this evening. But thankfully, it looks like most of the hub city was spared from the tornado, but we did see that hail damage across the area. This is all continuing to move to the east. That severe warning, severe thunderstorm